My name is Blake Levine, and today's educational talk, I want to share about being a parent when you have a child that has a mental illness. So, as a social worker and a coach and an author, I've had the ability to meet so many parents, and it is now in my own life being a dad to a 2-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter that I realize how vital it is to care for your children. And I have seen those families that have a child with a mental illness and they become so nervous, scared, overwhelmed, confused, and really hoping to do whatever they can to help their child. And now in my own life, I see as a parent that it is so important to do everything you can for your children. And what I often tell those parents that have a child with a mental illness is that it can get better. So many times the children are resistant, they don't want to seek help, they don't believe they have an illness, they are angry and hard dealing with. And I tell the parents that even though it might seem really difficult right now, it doesn't always have to stay this way. But some of the struggles of being a parent when your child is mentally ill is trying to figure out what to do, because often we want to help them, we want to teach them, we want to provide care and services for them, and then we have to also let them sometimes make their own mistakes. So we might really be overly nervous about them going into the world and trying to work and trying to handle their finances, and we don't know if because they have a mental illness it means we should really control everything or let them do small things. So what I have found when I work with parents that have a child with a mental illness is that maybe you have to figure out exactly where your child is at. So if they are functioning at a really high level, maybe they should be working. Maybe they should be, kind of keeping track of how much money they make, doing a budget, paying for some of their expenses. And then on the other end of the scale, there are children and sometimes even adults with mental illness, and the parents have to do everything. This might mean paying for their apartment, making sure they have enough food, water, making certain that there's someone to help them. Maybe you have a caregiver come in and make sure they are keeping the place clean and that things aren't getting dirty, or that they are eating enough. And I think that part of the thing about being a parent with a child with a mental illness is there is so much information out there. I've written a number of books, but there's tons of articles, books, and now online you can find so much research. And as a parent, you kind of don't know where to begin. What do you do to start making sense of it? And what I really think is that taking the time to learn, whether it's to read online articles, maybe you watch some educational YouTube videos, maybe you buy some of the books that you've been recommended by your pediatrician or your psychiatrist, just doing that initial work is a really step in the positive direction, because sometimes we are so scared that we get paralyzed as a parent. We don't know what we should do, if anything. And when you take the time to learn, to read, to study, you end up being a more knowledgeable parent, and that can make a big difference. So when you're helping the child, you can have some background information about how these illnesses work. If they have a doctor, you can make sure the doctor is doing a good job. You can understand the treatments and medicines they're giving, the reason for them, maybe even be aware of side effects. So if any of them happen to your child, you can make sure that you know what to do. And then you can also learn that just how many other people face these issues. I've done a lot of work with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, also known as NAMI, and the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance. And the best thing about them is that they have these groups in local communities where you can find other parents, people that have children with mental illness, and they get together and they share their honest stories. They talk about the struggles, and some of them have adult children that are still living at home. There's even sad examples of some that have lost a child due to the mental illness, and they share what the real journey and battle and challenge is. And the best part to know is that they are not alone. They have other people to listen to support, to share advice. I come often to those local groups to do a talk, and I get to meet many of the parents, and NAMI puts that all together for free. So I encourage you, if you go to their website, NAMI.org or dbsalliance.org, you can find information about them. You can support them. They have some of the NAMI groups have local walks where you can participate and raise money for your local chapter. And the best part of all, you can find the groups and things they have in your community for free, so you can meet other people and not be alone. I just want to say, I was diagnosed at 15 Took a few years of going around trying to find different help to actually get back kind of in a more stable place. And I remember the first time I was diagnosed, in the first couple months, I was so angry at my mom, who put a lot of effort in to help me. And as I got healthier and stronger, I realized just what a great job she and my dad did to really support me through a difficult time in my life. And I was able to go back and tell my mom just how thankful I am, how much I appreciate it. It's about 20 years later, and it's been a long road. I'm married over 10 years to my wife. I have 2 children. And I still say to my mom, thank you for the effort you put in to help improve my life. And if you're a parent out there, maybe your child's not saying that. Maybe they're not telling you, hey, mom, dad, thanks for helping. I appreciate it. Just know it is so valuable and important, because if you weren't there to help them through this tough time, many of them would not have survived. And the people I've worked with that have the best shot, that often see the greatest results from all the work and treatment, is the ones that have a supportive family. So I thank you for watching this, and check out my website below, bipolaronline.com. We have educational articles and videos and a one-on-one coaching program I do. Thank you so much. You have a great day.